What's up, y'all? My name is Jason Livingston.
And I'm Lucky Moronga.
And we would like to personally invite you to our Inspired Youth Bible Study.
Inspired Youth Bible Study is going to be from 7 to 9:45 every second and fourth Thursday of every month.
We look forward to seeing you there.
The untreated traumas of childhood become the frustrating dramas of adulthood. It is so important to realize that the inner child is still in there, caught in the past. We have to rescue them. Join Rosa and I Thursday, November 16th at 6:30 p.m. to heal your past, love your present, and take hold of your future. Can't wait to see you there.
What's up, good people? This is Pastor B. I'm coming before you to invite you to Wednesday night Bible study, 6:30 p.m. We are going to dive deeper into the Word, and guess what? I need you there. I need you there with me. I need us to dive into the Word together. So if you are around, Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m., see you at church. Peace.
Hi, ladies. We'd love to have you join us for our next women's ministry on Saturday, October 28th at 9:30 a.m. in the multipurpose room. We'll be serving breakfast and have a great time in the Word together.
Serenity Village Men, join me every Monday at 7 p.m. in the multipurpose room for men's ministry Bible study. We'll see you there.
Hey Serenity Village, we need your help. You want to come help serve the community? You can join us Monday nights at 4:45 for an hour and a half making sandwiches in the fellowship hall. You can come on Fridays and help put groceries in the cars that come through the parking lot starting at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or come join us Saturday for the street outreach program where we go out to the streets of Minneapolis and St. Paul and bring the food to the communities that need us the most. We really need your help and I look forward to seeing you there.
Hello everybody, this is Pastor Jeff Hill, the founding pastor of Serenity Village Community Church. I wanted to personally invite you out to our Life Recovery meeting every Tuesday at 6:45 in the sanctuary. For 19 years, this community has been growing. We are seeing the captives of addiction being set free. The community, the camaraderie, the support, the fellowship is something we do not see in a lot of places. It's worth checking out. I would love to see you at 6:45 any Tuesday. God bless you. Peace.
Come on up. Jesse, I'm never fishing with you again. Thank you all for battling the rain. Appreciate it. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out technology. This could take a minute. I think that's Doug. It is. Fantastic. Stace, will you pray us in? Thank you.
Dear Jesus, thank you for this beautiful day and this opportunity to gather together to learn more about you. I just pray that you open our hearts and minds to the teaching you have for us through Pastor Scott. And I pray for the still suffering addict that they find their way to freedom. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, I got a lot to live up to. I got to get to do the announcements. It's awesome. So welcome our live stream guests, everybody watching us from afar through their screens. And the first time guests, where are you? We're going to embarrass you, so stand up. Doug always says he's not going to embarrass you. Well, no, we're gonna. Just, gotta rip the Band-Aid off and just let us know who you are. Let's not forget, we got a lot going on here at Serenity Village Community Church. We have Monday night Big Book meeting at 7 o'clock, and our mayor, Michael. That's the guy that leads it. How many did you have this last week? 40? Yeah, so it's thriving. Monday night we have men's ministry, 7 o'clock. Back in the, Aaron was there. That's good. Fantastic. Wednesday nights we have Bible study. Pastor Blair does a great job at that. You guys need to come and listen to Pastor Blair. You will not regret it. And then we come to the big day, Sunday. Can everybody say Sunday? Sunday! What happens on Sunday? Church? How many times? That's how many services, right? 2 services? All right, wait. I almost had it. Services, what time are they at? 10:30 and 6, that's right. Now, if you didn't get a word of that, you just come up to me after and I'll explain it slower. All right, do we have any more announcements? Let's look and see. Ooh, sobriety anniversaries. Mike, did we find that sheet? Yes, we did. Okay, tonight's the last night to sign up for sobriety anniversaries for next week. The sign-up sheet is in the foyer. If you don't know what the foyer is, it's back through the double doors you came through. What else? Oh, we got a video. It's going to be fantastic. Now, right now is your opportunity to give back and sow into this ministry to help keep the lights on and buy food and stuff so we can make sandwiches on Monday nights for the homeless and buy books by that author right there, Michael Shea. Michael? Which, if you've been in treatment or in prison in the state of Minnesota, you've probably seen them. I don't want to say you've read them, but you've probably seen them. But that's what your money goes towards. So, dig deep, fill those buckets up, and watch this video. I love that. Of all the videos that we have, I like that one a lot. One of the reasons I like it is because I can relate to that. Unforgivable, right? Walking through the middle of downtown with that hard look on your face when really you're just, like an M&M. One that's been in your pocket, so the inside's all mushy, but the outside's still kind of hard. That guy up there, no one's gonna bother me. Give me a break. Fragile. Should have had a shirt that said fragile on it. Anyhow, for the newcomers, I can guarantee you this is gonna be a meeting that you won't forget. You're either gonna hate it or love it, and if you hate it, try it again. If you love it, fantastic. Keep going. Because if there was a different way to live life, a better way to live life outside of relationship with Him, I'd sell it to you. Which means I wouldn't tell you until you gave me money. But it was given to me for free, right? And that's why I give it away for free. Undeserving. If you are in recovery and your recovery it's just a disaster because it's up and down and left and right. Maybe you haven't used, but you're just miserable emotionally. That's not life. That's like just waiting to relapse. Right? If my life was miserable, I'd relapse right now. Right now. I'd just take this mic off and go and handle the business. There's more to life, and it's freedom, but it takes work, right? How many people here know that if their sponsor calls you more than you call him or her, that's a problem, right? You got to use the tools. You got to do some of these cliches, you got to do what you don't want to do to get where you want to go. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Recovery is not for lazy people. If you're lazy in your recovery, Pastor Jeff will tell you this, you can put the work in your relapse quick. Real quick. And if you're being lazy in your recovery, trust me, you know it. You know why I know you know it? Is because people are telling you it. Your life reeks of the fruit of it. Right? You're in the same spot right now that you were last year at this time. If that's you, okay. Be honest about it. Start over. It's not too late. So we're going to talk about self-discipline today. And I don't like that word. I really don't. I mean, I like it when it benefits me, but it's hard, so I don't want to do it most of the time. I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and where I want to do it. That's what my flesh wants, right? Pastor Terry, who was here on Sunday? I mean, that word was fire. Holy smokes, dude. I mean, some of that stuff, I was just like, what did he say? He said, my flesh is easily stimulated. I mean, dude, my flesh, it doesn't take a huge thing to get me interested. You know what I mean? You're looking at me like, what does he mean? I mean, it doesn't take much. You know what I mean? My flesh is just like, it gets excited quick. It doesn't take a lot. Doesn't take a lot. Self-discipline means this, to exercise the power over oneself, the ability to keep oneself under control. I know it's good. I know being under control is good. I know that self-discipline is good, but I'm more the self-indulgent type of person. That's what my flesh likes. It likes it, and it likes more of it, till I get a stomachache more, till I OD more. I don't ever think that's going to happen, in the midst of it. But it does. Self-indulgence, which is obviously the opposite of self-discipline, it produces the work of the flesh. And the flesh, the flesh was never ever designed to submit to God, ever. It's always going to be there. It's in opposition 100% of the time. You're not going to get rid of it. If you're in your word and in the Bible, you'll read about certain guys in the Bible that talk about it all the time. Paul really talked about it a lot. I mean, he spilled his guts in Romans. If you haven't read Romans yet, we're going to go over some of that tonight, so you'll be a little more familiar with it. When we lack self-control, basically what we're doing is we're saying we have an attitude. Like that guy that was walking on the video. We have an attitude of I'll do whatever I want when I want. And the results of that life, the results of that attitude are sin 100% of the time. And I know there's someone in this audience saying, well, he just said 100% of the time. I don't know if that's true. Well, if it's not, then why are you in the room? Right? When I overindulge, 100% of the time it leads to sin. 100%. It's hard being honest with ourselves. Right? I was that guy sitting in the seats going, he doesn't know me. He doesn't know me. Are you kidding me? We all know we might as well just be one big person in here because we're all the same. We're human. And we're sinful. Right? We got some issues. But there's a difference. We tell our God about our issues. Right? We don't cry and whine about them anymore. We're like, listen, this happened, that happened, this happened. They did this, I did this. I made this decision. That's what I used to do. Those are choices I used to make. Now, even if I still want to do those things and think those things, I'm going to make a different choice. I don't even like it. I made some choices today, some really, really good ones, and I didn't like them. Didn't like them at all. I mean, I really made a good choice not to tell someone what time it was, and I really wanted to bad. And even after I didn't tell them what time it was, I wasn't satisfied. My flesh was like, I had to shut the door to my office and be like, I just talked to God. I go, God, that was not satisfying. Are you happy? Because I'm not happy. You know. And I won't tell you what he told me next, but I'm telling you now. I still got problems. I'm not perfect. When we have an attitude like that I'll do what I want when I want to do it, we come up short. Come up short in our life. Now, when there's where self-mastery exists, and that doesn't come without, we need help. If you want self-mastery in your life, dude, first of all, you better be in touch with those people that the Lord puts in your life. Who are they? Mentors, sponsors, people that know you. Not yes people, people that know you. And that you know love you. And that you can take guidance and correction and leadership and coaching from, even if you don't like it. Those are the people I'm talking about, right? And then there's the Holy Spirit, which the Lord gives us believers, right? To guide us, keep us safe sometimes, to encourage us, right? That little pit you feel in your stomach, right? That little pit gives you a moment of pause when you see that wallet. I mean, this is how imperfect I am, dude. I'm telling you, it just happened like a week ago. I found a wallet, not in here, but out on, outside of here on the street. And I saw it, and I was like, I kind of looked like that. Stood for a while, and then I picked it up. And I'll be honest, first thing I did was look to see if there's money in there. I wouldn't look and see who it was. I'm like, and there was. And I'm like, girl, dang it. That's still in me, dude. My flesh is still like that. Now, the person got it back to him. I didn't even take gas money. But still, you're going to have those thoughts. Are you going to be able to take them captive? That's another thing we're going to talk about tonight. Now, when self-mastery exists, there's a strong, and this is what I was just talking about with that example with the wallet, there's a strong resistance towards sinfulness and towards sinful choices. In 2 Corinthians 10:5, it says this, We're able to demolish arguments and every petition that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. And we take captive every thought to make it obedience to Christ. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are able to bring every thought, word, deed, and take it captive and remain obedient. No matter how bad how hard it is. We're going to talk a little later about effort. Anybody that works out in here knows exactly what I'm talking about. To build your muscles, you need resistance, right? You're going to get resistance. By the choice you made to get sober, you are going to get resistance from the enemy in 2 seconds. I don't know about you, but I never, ever in my life was tempted to do something. But all of a sudden I get sober and now I'm tempted all the time. That's resistance. You're going to get resistance. You need resistance. That resistance helps you build your spiritual muscle, right? Your faith has to be tested. Oh, praise the Lord, hallelujah, I love Jesus, you're the love of my life. And then you get a little resistance, right? And then all of a sudden you don't know what to do. You know what to do. Are you going to do it? Right? You've read it. I know you've read it. The problem isn't that you read it. He doesn't care that you read it. He cares that you're faithful in it. That's the biggest thing. I read the big book. I have a sponsor. He does not care. Are you going to be faithful in it? Then he starts to really get, he feels some sorts of way. You as believers, and I want to tell you this, I'm talking to believers in here, you guys are set apart. Lord basically, and if you want to take it simple, he just picks you up and he sets you right there in the race. It's our obligation. We, in turn, need to actively put off the old self and its former ways of thinking, speaking, doing. Your old worldly attitudes and behaviors, they just won't cut it. It tells us this in Philippians 4:8. It says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true. And this is for, I don't know how to do that. Because resistance comes with excuses. You're not going to need the enemy to get resistance. I mean, your brain comes up with excuses. It's the most worthless thing it produces. Just constantly. You might want to shut them off, and it just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming. One of the excuses is I don't know what to do. If those thoughts come, well, try thinking of 2 things at the same time. You can't do it. So think of these things. It says in Philippians 4:8, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about those things. It tells you what to do. You can't say you didn't know what to do. You just have to choose to do it, right? It's going to feel funny. I'm just telling you right now. That's one of the excuses that just popped into my brain as I was reading it. They're not going to do this. It's going to feel funny. Well, it's just gonna. But you won't be able to deny the fruit. When we practice self-control, and I want to tell you why we do this real quick. We're not practicing self-control and self-discipline to win approval from other people. We do it, right? Because of what's already been done for us, for free, from him. Whether you believe, do you realize he sacrificed his only son on the cross regardless if you believe or not? He's like, I don't care where they're at in their life. So just picture this room. I'm sitting there behind a dumpster, shooting dope. Someone's doing the line out the back of a toilet seat, real cleanly. I know nobody's done that. Just think about us in this room. As he's hanging on the cross, right? We're doing our stuff. He's dying for you. The believers and unbelievers alike. Hopefully that puts a little different taste in your mouth when you think about it. and what he's done for you and me. I like to paint pictures, you know. Anyhow. All right, let's get into it. 1 Corinthians 9, 24 through 27. Do you know in a race all runners run, but only one gets the prize? That's the world economy. You have a race, there's one winner. In the race that the Lord has picked you up and set you in, you win if you don't quit. And I'm not just talking about going to heaven. I'm talking about living a victorious life here on earth. Is he talking about prosperity? You're damn right I am. Nowhere in the Word do I read where it says your life's going to be mediocre or miserable and suck. There's nowhere in there. It's not even biblical. It uses words like overflow. Now, what does that mean? I have no idea. Does it mean my bank account's going to be overflowing? Does it mean my fridge is going to be overflowing? I don't know. It just talks about overflow, and that's good. It doesn't say overflowing of problems. And if you have an overflow of problems, trust me, the overflow that he's providing is going to be way bigger. And I'm telling you this experientially, by the way. So not only have I read it, but I've experienced it in my own life. Run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes, everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. Ooh, strict training, that means denying yourself. I don't want to do that. I don't want to deny myself anything. That is not going to sit right here. Catch that. Denying ourselves, that sounds terrible. What if I want it? And I want it bad, dude, really bad. Right? No one's around. Wife's out of town. No one's going to know. Why can't I do it? Well, you can. But trust me, you can't keep it a secret. They'll know. Maybe not right away. But if you're, I don't know about me, I don't know about you guys, but me, I couldn't get away with crap. Nothing. That was the worst thing I did was go to a faith-based treatment center. Worst thing ever. Because I went and getting high sucked ever since. And it wasn't for lack of effort. I tried. It was terrible. Right? I'd feel bad about it. Feeling bad, getting high and feeling bad about it do not mix. That's not a good situation. You know what I mean? You feel bad about it, and so you try to do it in secret, it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? And I'm married, so that's like having a private detective next to you. They come home from out of town, you're sitting on the couch watching football, and they ask you, how's it going? Okay. What's wrong? Nothing. Trust me, they know. Then they sit by you. Wondering why you don't want to cuddle. You're feeling all, gosh, dude, it's anxiety, I hate that feeling. Terrible. Anyhow. Don't see these tangents. See, I get on them. It's terrible. Everyone who competes let me just tell you this. Well, forget it. I'll just keep reading. They do it to get a crown that will not last. That's the world's economy. You know, there's one person that wins the race, and I've already told you. You invited him into your life. Right? He sets you apart, he puts you in the race, and you win if you just don't quit. You can want to quit. Who's wanted to quit before in here? All the time. All the time. I always think there's a quicker, easier, softer way, and there never is. I still need my sponsors and mentors to tell me that there's not a quicker, easier, softer way. That's how bad I am. Like, I wish I was standing up here telling you, I just know, and I'm able to do it, not without the people the Lord puts in my life. Nope. I don't know if I'll ever reach that threshold. I just don't. And I don't care if I do or not. That's not even the point. I don't care. I want people to be able to speak into my life. It's benefited me so far. And it'll benefit you. Therefore, here we go. Therefore, I do not run like someone running aimlessly. Remember earlier on I said your recovery up and down and left and right and all over the place, totally out of balance, right? Tired all the time, miserable all the time. That's what aimlessly looks like. That's the fruit of aimlessly. That's the fruit of no plan. You have to go into strict training. It's not just exercise, it's sacrifice. I don't like these words. Self-discipline. I have to deny things that I really want. I have to sacrifice. Pizza, double extra cheese, pepperoni, protein bar. I need help making that decision. I mean, bad. You better not leave me alone. Are we on the phone and order it in 2 seconds? You better be next to me while I'm eating that protein bar. Dude, I'm a sick person in this mind. I don't think I'm alone. Look at all the giggles and stuff. It's funny. We have to go into strict training is needed. It's more than just exercising. It's sacrifice. There has to be resistance. Like I told you, our flesh is fighting. It's fighting for your commitment. And the reason you're having these fights is because of the commitment you made. And I already talked to you about laziness. No laziness. No aimlessness. Aimless in recovery is no good. No good at all. You will make no traction whatsoever. Have no traction. Limited. Very, very limited. Instead of being with him and it's limitless. There's no real direction and no plan. My mind, this is where I just want to take people and be like, no. Don't you realize, dude, if we strike blows to our body and make it our slave, we do this so our bodies yield to our spirit. We strive for victory over our flesh. That is why we need to go into strict training, and we have to rely on him. Because we're not going to be self-disciplined. We just won't. We'll do it for a little while. What's self-discipline look like in our life? Well, I'll go to treatment just to get that off my back or get her back or get my license back or, you know the stuff we do, right? We're able to do it. We're good at being something we're not just to get what we want, right? You have to be able to do that. You have to be able to fool them, right? Romans 6:12 through 14. Therefore, do not let sin reign in your mortal body, so that you obey its evil desires. What are you offering yourself to? This is real simple. What do you spend time with? Right? Why do you spend time? Why do you flirt with it? I said this last week, dude, when we were talking about, what were we talking about? The giants in your life? That's right. We like to flirt with our sin, right? We like to cuddle with it, spend a little time with it, right? Stay familiar with it. Why? Why? Sponsors, ask your sponsees that question. Everybody in this room, ask yourself that question. Why do I need to do that? Why do I gotta do it? What's wrong with me? Well, we'll get what's wrong with us, I should say. I want you guys to understand this, and I can say this, but you're not really gonna, if you have a relationship with the Lord, you'll understand it, and hopefully to the depths that I now understand it, but it took a while, was how much he really desires you. How much he really loves you. And how much he really wants to fight for you. And I can't tell you enough, it wasn't wrong. Half measures avail us nothing. A part-time effort doesn't get you a part-time result. If you're part-timing your recovery in here, you might as well go get high. Because that's what's going to happen. How can he say that? Well, dude, that's what happens to all of us. Anybody in here that'll tell you the truth will tell you that. If you're gonna go part-time, half measure, dude, you're gonna get high sooner or later. You're just waiting for the right moment or excuse or what, and your brain doesn't, you might not even be thinking it. But if you're not faithful in the little things, calling your sponsor, meeting with people, right? Doing the work of recovery, if you're not in your word, your talent got you in this room. Your character is going to get you right back to the bottle, right back to the syringe. Why? Because someone's going to tell you no. Right? They're going to tell you have to go to nope, you're going to sober living. And you're not going to want to go. Right? She's the one, I want to date her. No. Pump the brakes. And then what's going to happen? Telling you this experientially, I did that. Ended in a disaster. No, it's not the woman I'm married to, by the way. I already said this before, that part-time effort, we like to flirt with sin, we like to cuddle with the things that controlled our life. We abuse his grace. Striving for righteousness Monday through Friday, but on Saturday, well, that's just for you. Go to church on Sunday. What about the rest of the week? You got to it's relationship. You got to take him everywhere you go. I don't know about you, but I don't have the luxury of setting it on the shelf, saying, no, Lord, I got it. I don't have that luxury. I don't know about you, but my addiction is going to kill me. And I'm going to lose everything. I will lose the peace, the joy. All the things that money can't buy, I will lose if I go back out there. And it's too valuable to me. And if I lose that, that means I've lost all of you, and I've lost my family, and I don't know if I can come back from that. I don't know. You have to answer that for yourself. Is it worth it? No. Is it worth it? Going back. This is real talk in here, real quiet. I want it to be quiet, too, because this is serious big boy questions, big girl questions. Because I know there are people in this room right now on the verge. They don't want to be in this meeting, but you're here. What if you didn't use? What if you didn't go back out there? Right? I know you think you're all pro. Nothing's going to happen. It'll be fine. No one will find out. You can't stop at just one. If you could stop at just one, you'd never be in this room in the first place. Right? I mean, honestly, it's never one. That's the excuse I have. Well, just this one time. My mom died, so that's a good excuse. Everybody would understand it. What? How about you honor the death of the loved one? Romans 6, 19 through 23. I'm using this example from everyday life because of your human limitations. It tells us right there that we're limited. It doesn't matter. Pastor Jeff, limited. Doesn't even matter how amazingly smart I am or not, or how talented we might be, we're limited. But with him, we're limitless. I mean, I'm up here. That's limitless. Well, what do you mean? Well, let's just say this. 2005, I couldn't read. Couldn't read. Now I'm up in front of you guys. Right? I didn't want to be up here, trust me. That's limitless. I don't know what his plans are for you. I just know they're good. There's a lot of things I don't know. I don't know his plans for you, but I do know they're good. I don't know when the end of the world's coming. I just know it wasn't right now. It could be before the end of the meeting. Are you prepared? The only thing you have to worry about having to be prepared is your soul. That's it. You don't have to worry if you got the right hat on, right clothes, bills are paid, doesn't matter. Is your soul prepared? That's all you need to think about. That's all that really matters. I'm using this as an example from everyday life. Just as you used to offer yourself as slaves to impurities and to every increasing wickedness, so now offer yourselves as slaves to righteousness, leading to holiness. When you were slaves to sin, you were free from the control of righteousness. Yeah. You weren't controlled by righteousness. You were controlled by, I'm free to do whatever I want when I want. No. How free were you really? I don't know about you, my addiction told me when to get up, who to screw over, when to go to sleep, when to work, when not to work, when to run, it told me, it dictated every little thing in my life, everything. Everything. I even had the guts to say I'm a functional addict. I don't even know what that means, but I thought I did. I made ends meet, and I was a good parent, and the only reason I worked was to get high. The only reason anybody got any other money except for the dope man was just to, keep the facade up. That's it. Be honest with yourself, right? The only reason I paid my cell phone bill was so they wouldn't shut it off so I could actually, that's the only reason. And it was a beeper back then. It didn't have cell phones. It was a big, huge thing. Anyway. What's a beeper? And I'll tell you this right now. I'll read verse 21. What benefit did you reap at the time from the things you now are ashamed of? That's a key question, because I'm not ashamed of anything I did or have done in my life or had done to me. The Lord tells us that he'll turn everything around and that was bad in your life for good if you let him. That's me paraphrasing, but that's basically what it means. If you let him, he's turned everything around for good. The worst things that I was so ashamed of and hid, like they were precious little diamonds and I didn't want anybody to know. Once I trusted him and let those things out, guess what? No shame, no condemnation, healing, no bitterness, right? Nothing but forgiveness and love. And he used that as an example for other people. That sounds terrible. It wasn't terrible. It was scary at first. It was really scary. But trust me, there's nothing you've done or had done to you that's a secret or a mystery in this room. It's been done, thought of, or had done to the person. You couldn't, that's how much the Lord knows you and loves you. He puts you in a room like this where it's not going to be a shock. Oop, geez, I almost fell right off the stage. No one in here, if I picked someone out of the crowd and they told me everything they've done, all the deepest, darkest little hidden treasures and everything, my response is not going to be, what? Oh, I can't believe that. No, are you kidding me? Totally believable. I wouldn't do that. Well, that's just because you weren't out there long enough, right? He'll do it. Put any of us in the right circumstances, dude, we would do anything. I would never do that. Yes, you would. Everything I said I would never do, dude, I passed over like a speed bump going 80. I didn't even feel it. Just right over it. It was like those little badges you get in Boy Scouts. You know what I mean? I just had a whole shirt of badges. Never smoked dope in a light bulb. Click. Only believe you never smoked crack because you freebased it on foil. Click. I could think of a bajillion things. I should get the shirt and just come up with a bunch of badges on of all the things I said I would never do that I did, and then have the really disgusting ones I don't want you to know about on my back. You know what I mean? Anybody that shoots meth knows what I mean. Disgusting. Oh. That's why I say this mind isn't well, dude. It's better, but it's still, you open some doors that sometimes you want to just peek in. You're like, how's it going in there? I'll tell you how it's going, not good. Just stay out of there. That's that flirting I'm talking about, you know what I mean? Whew. Anyhow, where were we? Oh, here we go. So, don't you get it? You can live a victorious life here on earth by his grace. A life of holiness and righteousness with him. We can overcome the world. That's what it says. What's he talking about, the world? I just want to overcome today. I mean, I don't know about the world. Sure, if I kind of believe that'll happen. I don't even know what that would look like, but if I can just overcome today, I'd be happy with that. Well, trust me, he can. He can. Did you get high today? Perfect. That makes it a great day. I had one of those days today where things did not work out good. Like it was just one of those days. Everything was a struggle. All day, the whole thing. But I got here and I didn't get high. That's a great day. A good day is when it's all smooth. You know what I mean? A good day is when it's all smooth and I understand everything. Today, I did not understand anything. I don't know what was going on. I had a guy, listen to this. Who works in treatment in here? Raise your hand. Okay, have you guys ever in your life had a guy leave treatment and not because he's getting kicked out, but just cause? Like, he's not in trouble. He doesn't have to leave, but he just said, no, I'm gonna go now. I never in my life have had that happen to me or happen in our treatment center. They always stay. You know what I mean? He just decided, no, I'm good now. I couldn't even believe it. I mean, there's one thing to think it, but none of the guys do it really. They usually sabotage themselves and go relapse and make a big bunch of excuses. He didn't make any. He just said, nope, I'm good. I got it from here. I just didn't know what to say. Because I knew that wasn't wrong, but he was already locked and loaded and ready to go do whatever he's gonna do. He told me I was playing. That's how my day started at 7 a.m. Like, I don't know what the Lord's got a sense of humor. I don't know what he's gonna be doing, but it's gonna be good. So I just didn't understand anything all day today. But now I'm here. That's the fruit. That's what he does in your life. Doesn't matter if you understand it. Just look up, stay focused there, right? If I was to focus on the circumstances if any of us at any given day were to focus on the circumstances of our life, we would drown in 2 seconds. You gotta stay focused here. If you focus here, the circumstances they take care of themselves. They don't necessarily go away, but they don't own you, right? You can handle something that you don't own. You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. It's much easier to make a hard choice and a hard thing when you're not emotionally invested in whatever that thing is, right? When you're emotionally invested in it, it's hard to make the hard call. When you focus on him, even the things you're emotionally invested in, you're able to speak truth and live truth and do the right thing and make the hard call. Anyhow. 2 Timothy says this, for the Spirit of God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. I love that because you can't argue with it. If you have this, it's not a timid, it's bold, right? It's like what I talked about last week. It's facing it. It's turning around and facing it. It's not pretending it doesn't exist. It's not sweeping it under the rug. It's not any of those things. If you lack self-discipline in your life, you won't be able to do that, but that's what the Lord is telling you. That's what's in you. Are you going to grab hold of it is the question, right? If you're in sales in here, right, and you sell stuff, you come to my house and I'm like, no, I don't want to see it. No. If I'm a salesman and I get 25 no's in a day, I'm quitting. Like, you salesman people in here, I mean, I just don't got that. It's like, yes, exactly. I gotta wait for my wife to get home. But I'm serious. It's like, dude, you tell me no one. I mean, those guys that are in sales, they got some thick skin. You know what? 2 Timothy. For the Spirit of the Lord gave us, does not make us timid. Doesn't matter what other people think. You don't have to be a people pleaser. You can say, no, I'm not going to get in that car. No, I'm not going there to meet you. No, I'm not going to do that. It's not timid. It's not people pleasing either. What are they going to think? I don't know what they're going to think, but I know what people are going to think if you're on the greasy spot on the side of the road somewhere drunk, right? Or you went and relapsed again. I know what they said about me. Oh, they'd ask someone, how's Scott doing? Well, they don't even want to say it because it's happened so many times. They're just like, well, just pray for him. Bless him. Pray the Lord keeps him safe. I didn't even deserve for the Lord to keep me safe. I'll tell you that. I put myself in some unsafe situations. Constantly. Thank God for his mercy. Thank God we didn't get what we deserve, yeah? For the Spirit God gave us, I'm going to read it again, does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. Now we go down to Romans 14:24. I love this. Oh, I love this because Paul, it's very misunderstood, but Paul is saying, I'll just read the first 14 and 15. It says, we know that the law is spiritual, but I am unspiritual, sold as a slave to sin. I do not understand what I do. First of all, he's not talking about his flesh in this, all right? He's not talking about willfully sinning. I never got high on accident. It wasn't something that I didn't desire. That's not what Paul's talking about. There's a difference between if he doesn't understand what he's doing, that means he doesn't know that he's doing it. First of all, when a person, me or us, willfully sins, we're not doing what we hate. We're not. We're just fulfilling an appetite and a desire that we have. It's more than a thought, right? It's more than a thought. You got to take that thought captive before it gets pregnant. You're giggling, dude. I'm serious. That's what happens. Literally and figuratively. When we focus on our identity in him, actively pursuing him, and I will tell you this 100% of the time, the byproduct is obedience. Remember when I read Philippians earlier? That's stuff you got to do. You got to consciously think about it or be reminded about it by the people that he puts in your life. But the byproduct of that struggle is 100% of the time obedience. You don't think of all those things and then still go do what you're going to do. This doesn't work like that. It doesn't. Someone's going to test me on here tonight. I hope you don't die. The product of actively pursuing him is obedience, living a righteous life. I will tell you this right now, you do not have to live in a steady state of captivity. There's a little in there, in between the lines. It's your responsibility, though, right? Takes effort. Remember what I said, resistance this whole time? It's going to take resistance to build that spiritual muscle. And that resistance is only there because of a choice you made to get sober. If you didn't make the choice to get sober, there'd be no resistance. None. I wasn't convicted about getting high or drinking or robbing people or doing whatever I was doing until I made the choice. And I'm all foolish. I made a choice to go to a faith-based treatment. Stupid. Dumb, dude. I mean, it was the smartest thing I ever did, but I mean, it was bad because like I said. I just wanted to get the law off my back and all that sort of stuff, but little did I know, in the fine print that I didn't read, it said your getting high career will be over. You will now get convicted for everything you've done, and you will have conviction, or you'll feel bad about everything you did, and you won't get away with anything, because you'll tell on yourself. I became a snitch on my own self. That is terrible. Ah, you got to read the fine print. I didn't do that, Everybody in here will read the fine print from this day forward. Anyhow. I totally lost my spot. There I am. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Romans 7:25. Thanks be to God who delivers us. That's the answer. You want to know what to do? That's the answer. Give your life to him. Don't let another second go by. If you want to do it right after this meeting, you come right up here and we'll do it together. Because I don't want to do it. I want to party. I like to party. I want to see you in heaven. We'll party. We can even party here on earth if you want. Not that old party, but the new, the new kind of party. Way better. I don't want to spoil the secret. If you want to come up here, then I'll let you know. But it's good. It's really good. And if you're afraid right now and that little stomach thing's going on, that means you should come up here after the meeting and we can do that. I don't want to look stupid. Trust me. You guys have already heard the Walmart analogy. We've looked stupid plenty of times in our life. But Romans 7:25 is the answer to the call and what Paul was talking about. Who will rescue me from this body that is subject to death? Well, the next verse in Romans 7:25 says, thanks be to God who delivers me through Jesus Christ our Lord. That's the answer. I didn't come up with that answer. That's the answer. You can't say you didn't know. Now you know. So then, I myself, in my mind, am a slave to God's law, but in my sinful nature, he is the answer. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. Resistance is never easy. You're going to want to quit. That's okay. Paul still has it in his mind. Now we're talking, he is a rock star for Jesus. I mean, when I say rock star, I mean like the most famous one on the planet, the best, he's the best of everything. He still has that fudgy disaster in his mind. He still has excuses that come up. What did Paul do? Well, he was prideful, first of all. Stubborn. And he knew, more than anybody in this room knows, experientially, the power of Jesus, and he still was prideful and stubborn. That's that human flesh. It's that human flesh. So you're going to have it. That's okay. But you just got to give it to him. Right? And I've already told you, the only way you're going to be able to do that consistently in your life is by listening to the people he's put in your life and to the Holy Spirit. It's the only way. If you try to do it by yourself, trust me, you're going to get worn out, frustrated, and tired, and that is a recipe for detox. Hopefully. I'm just serious. I don't know about you, but I can't stay angry, frustrated, and tired for very long. Mike, can you stay angry and frustrated and tired very long? Yes. You can stay? No. I was going to say, me neither. I mean, you're as sensitive as I am. And we'll get right in the car and go to the bar. No, wait, that's social. We don't do that. We'll just go to the liquor store. And I don't want to be around other people. Have to talk to them? Gosh, that would suck. No. Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world. Let me just tell you, I'll break this down for you real quick. Oh, that's 12:2. Yeah, here we go. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds. Basically, what this verse is telling us is to live out God's will. That's what it's saying. When you don't conform to the pattern of this world, you are living out God's will for your life. You want to know if you're doing God's will for your life? Be obedient. Don't conform to the pattern of this world. The world's never going to give up. with its selfishness and passions. They're not going to go away. They're not going to, all of a sudden, everything's going to be kumbaya and great. And, no, it's never going to be like that. It was never meant to be like that. When you don't conform to it, you're in the will of God. Well, and that isn't good enough for some of you. Well, tough. Sometimes that's all I can manage. You know what I mean? Remember I said being obedient in the little things? What are you doing when no one's looking? Right? What are you doing when no one's looking? When that thought comes, no one's going to know. Right? I get convicted so hard I want to throw up. I'm serious. That's how bad the Lord. Because my tolerance to getting away with stuff was high. Real high. I mean, I can't tell you how many bottles of booze I brought to this meeting. It was a lot smaller then, but I was just scandalous. Well, now, I can't even put, if I go to the grocery store, I better make sure I want what I put in my cart. If not, I got to go all the way to the end and put it back right where it was. I can't get away with nothing. It's not like I can put it back in a, whatever random shelf. It just doesn't work. I can't do it. I know it sounds stupid, but that is just how it is. It's just that sensitivity. Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good and pleasing will. You got to resist the devil. You got to resist your flesh. You can't be stupid and be deceived. You got to know what your flesh wants. And you know. You know. We like to blame everything on the devil. No, come on. Don't give him too much credit. Your flesh is as nasty as anything. It desires it. Be honest with yourself what it desires. You're in your men's group, you're in your women's group, you're talking to your sponsors, your mentors. You better be puking your stinking brains out. Leaving no rock unturned. Because anything that's underneath that rock you don't turn over is what's going to, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. No secrets. Are you living your best life? If you're not living your best life, dude, you need to make every effort to add to your faith. And if you are living your best life, you need to continue to add to your faith. Shifting your focus to God will change your life. That's 100% guarantee. And a life that honors God and has his reflection and has our bodies or our flesh as a living sacrifice. I mean, dude, if you're serious, you need to look up. There's no better life. I would tell you if there was. I'm the type of guy, I couldn't tell you that money's the root of all evil unless I experienced it. And money's really not evil, dude. It's just me. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Don't tell me that it can't bring me satisfaction. I tried for it to make me satisfaction, and I couldn't. It's an endless pit. It's never big enough, fast enough, colorful. It's just never enough, ever. I'm telling you all this experientially. I can't do it any other way. The Lord wouldn't let me do it any other way. Because he knows that in my past, I was fraudulent, super fraudulent. So I can't talk about what I haven't experienced through him. So if you're serious, then you need to start acting like it. You got to get your focus. And I'm going to tell you this, you don't owe your old life anything. You don't owe your old way of living anything. This means self-serving, self-reliant, me-first way of life. You don't owe it anything. God specifically calls all of us to abandon that lifestyle and to live in the power of God's Spirit. Look up. That's it. You want to be self-disciplined? Look up. Do what he tells you to do. Right? And when you don't want to do it, you're not the only one. Don't keep it a stinking secret. Call your sponsor and say, I don't want to do this crap. And your sponsor will say, listen, I get it. Do it anyway. Sometimes they'll even do it with you. right? It's all right to think the things you think. Just don't flirt with them in your mind, right? Cast those things out of there. Are we in agreement? No one has to die tonight. Not one person. All right. Michael, I love you. That's my first house manager at Serenity Village, like a bajillion years ago. But anyway. All right, guys, you're free to go. Have a nice night.